Oh, hi, and welcome, and happy Hanukkah. Do you see my mug? I bought this mug for $5. I'm going to use it every single day this week. Hello, and welcome to Weekly Patronage, where I, Lauren, help all of you go through all of the patron challenges and talk about the game and celebrate Hanukkah, Chag Sameach, and talk about the Trials of Mount Tiamat, because the finale is tonight, and a bunch of other things, and answer questions from chat. Hi, chat. How you doing? Good to see all of you. I hope your Thanksgiving was excellent if you celebrated. If you did not, then I hope you had a wonderful weekend. How's everyone doing? All right, I'll put the mug down. But I will be picking that mug up on a regular basis because I just, look, it's a Hanukkah mug. I know, it's kind of it's not the most important thing in the world, but it makes me happy. And sometimes on a Monday, that's what you need, is something simple to keep you happy. You know what else makes me happy? The awesome moderators and producers, Martin and Mars, who are here in our chat. And I'm looking that way because that's what the chat is. They are here to help me help you play the game and answer questions and do things. And so if you do have any questions for me, for the game, for them, about Hanukkah, although I will admit I am not the best Jew. I might not have all of the answers, but I will do what I can. Either way, if you do have any questions, put question in big capital letters at the beginning of your question so that they can grab it and put it in our backstage document so that when I am not looking at the chat, I don't miss your questions, because sometimes I'm looking at this wonderful game of ours that I'm playing. I'm currently going through trials. I'm working on defeating Tiamat, getting ready to watch a whole bunch of people defeat Tiamat tonight. So I'm excited. And this is actually the first thing I'm going to do is, it's the last vote and the last thing for, the last thing that you can pick up for the Trials of Mount Tiamat. I'll grab my time gate pieces. Yay. Flip those cards. So yeah, there we go. All the votes are in. And tonight, we're going to find out what actually happens when a bunch of really high-level but very beat-up champions try to kill Tiamat. Which, frankly, actually sounds like what my characters are going through in the game right here. A bunch of high-level but beat-up champions trying to kill Tiamat. So, yeah, we're just getting through a bunch of stuff today. Welcome. If you did have Thanksgiving, tell me how your turkey day was. Turkey is good. If you are celebrating Hanukkah, then Chag Sameach. And either way, we're all going to be working on some patron challenges today. That's the name of the show, after all. I think as some of these first questions come on in and we get rolling, I think we'll just get the first poll started right away. Find out which of our patrons we're going to go after first. I've got 2 of the formations, adventuring parties, available. So let's see. We've got all 4 of our patrons. Who do we want to do first? If we can get a poll going shortly, we'll see what the chat would like to do. And meanwhile, I will jump over here to questions. Evil Emperor Zerg asks, are you getting a puppy for Hanukkah? I wish. I want a puppy. I want a dog. I would love one. Also, I love that song. The David Diggs. If you haven't heard I Want a Puppy for Hanukkah, it came out last year. It's the best Hanukkah song. And I include the Dreidel song in that. Because, the Dreidel song is classic. But, clarinet, no harmonica. That's it. That's all I'm going to sing of it. Definitely, not now, but later, go and Google search for I Want a Puppy for Hanukkah by David Diggs. It is amazing. Watch the music video, too, because it's adorable. And it's the best. But no, sadly, I am not getting a puppy for Hanukkah because as much as I would love one, we are not in a situation, I say we, my partner and I, are not in a situation in where we can have a dog at the moment. We don't have the space or the facility to have one and be able to take care of it. But soon. My goals in life from when I was a child was a house and a dog. So we'll see what happens. Frowning Fish question. Any idea when we will be able to see legendary items in the info collections tab? I do not know. See legendary items. So at the moment, you should be able... Oh, there we go. Well, we'll go to Orkira here. Like, you're talking about when you've made something legendary. I guess in the info collections tab, so you're talking about here. Let's go to Orkira. So you can see that it's legendary by the outline. So you can see that I've made the Pillow Rocks legendary because you can see the little yellow outline. If you're talking specifically about the information, the bonuses that you get from it, I can definitely pass that along. But you should be able to see when something is. Well, let me check another. Go somewhere else. Yeah, I think so. Although, is it not the opulent? Yeah, maybe it's not showing up. You know what? That's new to me. Sorry, I'm looking this up, and then also I looked over and I saw J-Dog saying that it's the perfect time for Luke to bring one home. No, not until we have more space for an actual puppy. Okay, let me pass along that. I thought you could actually see in here, I'm just making all things flash. I thought you could actually see in here when it was the yellow, but I was mistaken, so I'll pass that along. All right. Raider Eric G says, will we ever hear Lauren play the oboe? I mean, I've got stuff on my social media. If you go to, Oboe Lauren down there. I actually just posted yesterday the Hanukkah song on oboe. I don't usually play oboe on here, on these streams, for a couple of reasons. One, you're all here to play Idle Champions, not play classical music. Although I appreciate the ask. Two, the way I have to set up this microphone to work for talking versus oboe is actually different enough that if I try to play oboe on a talking setting, it doesn't work quite so well. Also, noise gating. I have to do some specific things in order to get oboe to work. If you come to Bardic Inspiration, when Jason Charles Miller is on, usually on Tuesdays, he talks a bit about that too. Some of the stuff that he specifically has to do in order for his singing and guitar to come through on stream to actually work out. So as much as it's fun to play, I think if you want music on an Idle Champion stream, Bardic Inspiration is your stream. But yeah, if you're interested in hearing some oboe playing, if you happen to be in the Pacific Northwest, I do have one more gig before the end of the year. I have a holiday gig. Otherwise, check out my Twitter. Also, Zariel has won. Jason needs more oboe. Corallin72, I mean, it depends on the song that he's writing, right? Like, if he ever does write a classical music song, then maybe more oboe would be good. All right. As our lovely moderators continue to grab questions from chat, I'm going to take a quick look at Zariel. Since Zariel won, which is nice. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you who have been voting. Let's see. Yeah, because Zariel is one of the ones I got to work on. Mert, I got all the perks. I got the Mert perks. Vajra, I just have this one, like, I just haven't finished this one. It's just sitting there. Strahd, still working on. Ooh, let's, yeah. Strahd, we're still working on Zariel. Need a lot of work. So let's check out Zariel's challenges. Beasts, no DPS. Why, Zariel? Why don't you like our DPS? Okay, distractions, Mako's Farida, and Talon. All right, well, we can't do the no DPS and this one because I believe Mako's is... Well, wait a second. No, I don't have him in here. I thought for a second I had him in my trials, but I don't. That's my bad. I think I had him in my last trials. But yeah, both Makos and Farida are DPS, so we can't do this and that at the same time. We want Dreidel as our highest total damage dealer. Humanoids, fiends, and open a chest. All right, well, let's get Makos, Farida, and Talon in there. Let's do that first, since that's a longer challenge. It's going to take a little bit longer. Oh, Saint Isidore, thank you for the subscription. Enjoy your emotes. I happen to be a fan. I'll put it in chat. I happen to be a fan of the natural 20. I'm a fan of anything that kind of looks 3D. All right, so let's get this going. Fiends or beef? Let's do fiends. Let's do fiends because I can do some work on Descent into Avernus. Because I believe Elturel's Last Stand is a good place to get some fiends. Elturel's. Did I say Elturel's? Elturel's. Okay. Yeah, JMIC unyielding, no DPS is still easier than no supports. This is true. This is very, very true. Okay, so we wanted Makos, we wanted Farida and Talon. Get you and you. Okay, so this is... Farida is going to be our main damage dealer. Makos is in a good spot. Let's see. Dreidel. I mean, we can try. Who else do we got available here? It's gonna be hard because my Farida is pretty well geared, and so this is gonna make it a little hard. I might have to do. Oh, also, Dreidel's there, so actually we can't. Never mind. Sorry, Dreidel. Ain't gonna be right now. This often happens with patron variants, is you start to set something up and go, oh wait, I can't do all of these all at the same time. So you know what, we'll get this going. We'll try to do a whole bunch of this other stuff, and we'll catch up with Dreidel and the no DPS on a later run. Let's take a quick look before we fill up the rest of this formation with who is needed in some of the other places, so that we don't accidentally put someone in this formation who is needed in another castle. Also, Balkan25, thanks for subscribing. Sorry, I missed your subscription. People use Dreidel. Yes, people do, although not today. Oh, sorry, I just closed that. All right, Mert. Mert is, well, come on. Della, Nayeli, and Celeste. Nayeli is currently in my trials, so we're not going to be able to do that with Mert. Minsk is our highest damage dealer. We can definitely do. Vajra wants Krond, and also Nayeli. And no tanks. Oh, no tanks. It hurts me so much. And then Strad. Wow, everyone wants Makos today. Makos is just super popular. Like, oh my god. A support champion and Jarlaxle. Okay. Alright. Okay, we can do this. Alright, so we just don't want, like, Minsk and Jarlaxle, basically. And we can put some stuff together. Oh! Alright, let's pound out... Alright, let's get Celise in here. And... let's get Dragonbait in here. And... Oh, Quiet Boy 7, thank you for the subscription. Enjoy your emotes. Enjoy all of the fun. I kind of want to put... Oh, you know... Oh, we can't have Havilar. Oh, but Mehen. Mehen, get on in here and help your daughter. Actually, gotta do that. Let's see. Sasaspi, I think I need somewhere else. Yeah, let's... Whoops. Yep, we're gonna do that. We're gonna get Sentry on in here. Yeah, why not? Let's do all the kills. Okay. Quillic would be good so that we can give Farida a little boost. Hitch is useful, and then yeah, and then Shandy. All right, I think that's what we got. Look at that. Nope. Yep. Yeah, we'll play the dance here, and where we'll move our characters around, our champions around a little bit, and see. Yeah, because that works. I'm not going to worry too much about focusing on those grumpy stacks. So I'm not going to do too much grumpy stack management. Ooh, look at that hype train. Wow. Very cool. All right. This is looking pretty good. And by pretty good, as always, I mean, it's going to get done what we need to get done, which is a whole bunch of patron stuff. It's actually not that bad as far as optimization goes. It'd be nice to have Havilar, but I can't have Havilar right now. Also, even if I could for Azariel, she's over here helping defeat Tiamat. I thought having Havilar helping defeat Tiamat is very appropriate considering what's happening tonight. Ooh. Eldoan, thank you for all of the gift subs. Wow. Looked over and suddenly there was a lot of gift subs going on. Hey. Congratulations to all of you who just got a whole bunch of gift subs. Go ahead and enjoy your emotes. That's super cool. And yeah, there we go. Let me go back to some questions because a whole bunch of them just came on in while I was getting this absolutely gorgeous formation going on. But I think this is going to work out pretty well. Yeah. Yeah, that'll get through what we need. Questions! Cassius335. The day 5 gift was interesting. I'm assuming you're talking about the Trials of Mount Tiamat, day 5, this gift. Hint of what's happening Wednesday. Here's my hint. I have a stream tomorrow at 9 o'clock Pacific that I'm pretty sure it got announced. That stream is basically an informational dump of wonderful things. You should come on by. You should come on by to that stream and celebrate the 3rd night of Hanukkah. Mikey JR. Question, I have enough time gate pieces to finally finish getting 2 characters in every slot. Yes. Nice. Which character should I get as a second for Calliope? Ooh, let's take a look at what our options are. I should pull up the right. Where is she? There we go. All right, second for Calliope. I mean, Briv is always a really good option. Well, we'll see what the chat says. They might also have some suggestions, but Briv is really, really good. Also, Razjuvie, thank you for the sub. Really appreciate it. Enjoy your emotes. But yeah, Briv is a solid choice. Briv is going to help in a bunch of different situations. Briv is incredibly, incredibly useful. If you already have Briv, Quillic is a go-to for me as a buffer. I find Quillic to be incredibly useful and positionally interesting. And then I go Prudence. I know I just happened to pick the 3 that are still available here, and that's actually just by accident. But yeah, Prudence, because very straightforward DPS are really super useful. If you already have Briv, or you're looking for a second, so you don't have anybody, I'd go Briv. And then afterwards, if you're looking for someone else to get in this slot, I would either go Prudence or Quillic, depending on if you're looking for a DPS or if you're looking for a support. And then the other would be my 3rd pick. All 3 of these are really super useful in different situations and are really good to have. And thank you for the subscription, Black Widow EE. Welcome. Thanks for 5 months. But yeah, Briv, And I'm not just saying that because he's a fellow Heroes of the Plains. Although you know that's just something I got a disclaimer there. JDog2773, what are you warming up tomorrow? Stuff. Higillamham. Question, do you have any Hanukkah recipes to share? We usually end up at the local deli, Cecil's in St. Paul, Minnesota, if anyone needs a good kosher deli. I mean, frankly, I need a good kosher deli. I love Seattle. I love Seattle so much. People here are wonderful. There's a distinct lack of kosher delis. I haven't had a good pastrami on rye in so long. So many other good things. The sushi here is amazing, but if I want a bagel with a schmear, I can't. I don't have any good kosher recipes because I don't cook. I mean, I don't cook well. I'm the same. I usually go find a really good kosher deli and go get myself some rugala. And I've done potato latkes before, but they've just been a basic recipe. But yeah, I would say that would be my suggestion for Hanukkah is the same as yours. Go find yourself a really good kosher deli. Ooh. Will oboe for deli. Kralin72. Oh, I've heard about a kosher deli that opened up in Seattle that I just haven't had a chance to go to because I'm not technically in the city. I'm outside, and it's surprisingly difficult to get into the city from outside of the city. So, oh, hey, Hype Train success. Enjoy your emotes, everyone. And thank you. But yes, I am distinctly lacking in recipes to share, but I would definitely second your suggestion of go find yourself a kosher deli. And even if you do not celebrate Hanukkah, kind of like a lot of holidays in where they may not be the kind that you celebrate, they usually involve some really good food. I highly recommend go find your local kosher deli, your local Jewish deli. Go get yourself a pastrami on rye. Go get yourself some rugala. Yeah. If they've got really good bagels, go ahead and get a bagel with cream cheese. Totally worth it. Absolutely. Have all of the bread. I do have some matzah. I did give in to some matzah. For those that don't know what matzah is, think of crackers. It's really good. Cruciferius Kale asks, every once in a while, your voice sounds exactly like my aunt, which is a little disorienting to me. I'm sorry, and thank you. She has a beautiful singing voice, so do you also sing? I do not. I mean, I do sing, I just sing badly. I can technically sing. My music training has made it so that I am pretty good at singing on pitch, but it is not a pleasant voice. It's not the worst. I'd be the person who shows up to, just forgotten the name of the show. America's Got Talent. There we go. America's Got Talent, or that other one that was on for forever and a day. I'd be the person that showed up to sing on America's Got Talent, and I would not advance, but I also wouldn't be one of those people who's shown off with a really, really horrible American Idol. Thank you, chat. Thank you, JDog. I would never end up on camera because I'm not good enough to go on, and I'm not bad enough to watch and be like, really? You thought this was good? Nah. I just don't sing. That's why I have an oboe. But I'm glad that your aunt has a beautiful singing voice, so that's lovely. Hillgilham. I think I've now said your name in 2 different ways, and I apologize. Hillgilham? Question, is Reedsburg, Wisconsin the place Reed's instruments go when they are no longer used? Oh, I mean, well, classically, when it's time for a woodwind instrument to die, they are turned into lamps. J-Mick Unyielding question, who's your go-to DPS for your Heroes of the Plains formation? Asking the experts here, of course. Well, thank you. I don't know, I'm a Heroes of the Plains expert. I don't know if I would consider myself an expert on Idle Champions. I'm a huge fan. I am an employee. I definitely say probably Garwar knows. No, definitely Garwar knows way more. Garwar has a guide for that. As for my go-to, I have found Birdsong. who of course I can't use at the moment. Birdsong has become my go-to DPS, especially if I am trying to use all of the Heroes of the Plains in one formation. I mean, the obvious answer is Birdsong is in a slot and where there are no other Heroes of the Plains, unlike a bunch of other go-to DPS. Like if I want to use a Shara, I can't use a Lindra, things like that. But what's good about Birdsong is they're super fast. And even before Whittle came along, having a DPS that was speed-based was really useful. And because so many of the Heroes of the Plains offer buffs based on alignment, and Birdsong also does buffs based on alignment, it all kind of stacks in a way that you can wrap your head around, which I really appreciate. And then, of course, Whittle comes along and everything gets wicked fast. Super wicked fast. Tenska Watawa. Welcome. First time on Twitch, and you're in our chat. Welcome. If you would like to ask a question of me, we have two amazing moderators, Martin and Mars, who are in chat. You can put question in big capital letters at the beginning of your question and then ask, and that way they can grab that and put that into a backstage document. So that way, if I'm not looking at chat and I miss your question, I don't completely miss it. So, yeah, Stinkwhip, you heard it here first. Birdsong is making a guest appearance on Heroes of the Plains. I mean, probably not. Probably not. But yeah, Birdsong is kind of my go-to if I'm trying to use all the Heroes of the Plains. Birdsong is an excellent choice. As for other options, and once again, this is if I'm using all of the Heroes of the Plains, and so we're only in those slots that don't have a hero of the plane. I mean, I'll go for Tyrell as a DPS, especially their Moonbeam is pretty good. Yeah, not so much there. That's Freely, that's Alindra, that's Briv. Ishii is a really good DPS and has been for a very long time for me. I've got some amazing gear on her. The gold find buff, like that's the other nice thing about both Ishii and Birdsong is they're both DPS and something else, which helps out a lot. So I do really like Ishii as a DPS. Yeah, I think that's about it. But yeah, Birdsong is definitely my go-to. And as you can see, so much of my go-to that I've got a couple legendaries on there. I'm working on it. Back to the questions. Flex Bone for the win. I mean, I assume that's what FTW means. The sooner you get a puppy, the sooner you can train it to play the oboe. Puppy playing the oboe would cause world peace. Just something to think about. I mean, that's kind of true. Yeah, a puppy. So now the question, chat, as I answer other questions, here's the question I need to know. If a puppy could play the oboe to inspire world peace, what song are they playing? You answer that question. Meanwhile, the Lurking Writer question, I'm on a route to unlock Vajra this week. Awesome. I see that she restricts champions based on constitution. Are there any Vajra variants that you can recommend avoiding for a while? Not off the top of my head, but I will say I do a lot of looking for variants that don't have other restrictions on them that are going to restrict the number of champions I can use, because I want to have as many champions as possible. This is why I've been running into challenges with getting Strahd their perks done, because of all of the patrons, Strahd has the least number of champions that apply, and so I tend to go looking for variants that don't have other requirements that will limit the number of champions that I could use. So not that they require another specific ability score, or that are only good champions or things like that. So I end up doing a lot of looking around, and I don't have a clear recommendation, but I would just start at the beginning and kind of make your way through and keep an eye on what has those requirements and avoid those, because if you're going to go ahead and do one of those harder variants for some of the patron challenges, then you might as well not make it extra hard on yourself. Yeah, Balkan 25, a lot of the Strahd variants are a pain because of the limitations. Strahd is super hard. I actually, as much as I am behind on getting Zariel's stuff done, Zariel, in my opinion, is actually easier than Strahd just because of the sheer number of champions you have available to you. So take a look at those specific qualifiers. Yeah, that's what I tend to look for. And then I'll tell you, I find the easiest variants to get through, even though it's not necessarily something that I need a lot of extra work on, but the Waterdeep Dragon Heist variants. I don't know why. I find those just in general easier to get through. Also, welcome to all of the new people coming in from the game. Happy Hanukkah and welcome. More questions. The real scary Norm. How do you make your auto clickers not click? Ahaha. Good question. They are clicking. They're just not going through the animation. So if you come over here to your main menu and settings, there's a whole bunch of really, really good settings that you can play around with in here in order to adjust how the game looks and works for you. And because, for a bunch of different reasons, the main one being, I prefer when I'm streaming and showing off the game to try to limit the amount of stuff going on the screen to make things less flashy. And I literally mean like flashing lights and things. So I disable a bunch of stuff in here. And this is how you can do that. You know, I turn off all of the sounds. I have a bunch of the stuff being skipped. I disable blood, I disable flashing, I disable screen shake. Those things are all super cool and I love looking at them. And when I'm off stream, I will often turn them on because I do like watching the familiars do that, but you can turn a lot of this stuff off in order to not have as much flashing going on your screen. And I highly suggest take a moment, if you haven't in a while, or if you hadn't had the chance yet, go to the settings screen and play around with some of this stuff. See what UI you want your game to be at. See if there's a target frame rate that's going to help. See if you like the narrow bench boxes or not. Turn on the UI portraits for the consoles and see if you like having all of the front-facing champions, because those pictures are really beautiful. I just don't like all of the champions staring at me. So yeah, go to the settings screen. I highly recommend playing around with those settings, especially if you haven't in a while. K. Maelstrom. Also, sorry, I got distracted for a moment as the wonderful Martin is letting me know that we have a bunch of chat answers to the dog playing the oboe question. All right, let me do K. Maelstrom first, and then I'll skip down to... apparently, chat had a bunch of different suggestions for what a puppy playing the oboe in order to inspire world peace, what song they would play. But first, K. Maelstrom asks, if I have enough favor to purchase all of the blessings in a given tier, how valuable is pushing for more favor? I think it's always valuable for pushing for favor because it makes everything easier the more favor that you have. But certainly, if I know that that's kind of my goal with a lot of these, in patrons specifically, is get to the point that I've purchased all of these perks. And then I kind of focus my attention on other patrons, although I'll still go back and run a little bit of Mert, if only so that I have Mert money to buy that Mojon chest. So as far as patron blessings go, patron perks go, I'd say it's worth kind of keeping an eye on that. If you are talking about blessings, I think it's also worth it to constantly be getting blessings in a bunch of different places, because as happened just a couple of weeks ago, we added more tiers of blessings. So you never know when having a stock of favor stock of favor to purchase a whole bunch of these new blessings is going to be a really good idea. So I don't think it's a bad idea once you've gotten all of the blessings to move on to other things and focus on other things, but it's never bad to get more favor. Okay, let us skip to the puppy playing an oboe. So, yes, for those of you who are just joining us, someone suggested that a puppy playing the oboe would inspire world peace. I asked the chat, well, what piece of music would the puppy play? Arkanar says, who let the dogs out? Well, okay. I mean, bravo. Bravo to that question, to that answer. Our Green Paradox says, Imagine by John Lennon. Aw, that's a lovely piece. Analine says, can it be like Snoopy and play one of the Christmas songs from Charlie Brown? Aw. Wow, it's been a while since I've seen the Christmas Charlie Brown special. But I am a fan of Snoopy. It'd be even more adorable. I mean, yes, it's Snoopy versus a puppy, but now what I have in my head is in those old animated shows or movies, you'd see Woodstock, and Woodstock would be doing and flying around in circles and spirals and stuff, and there'd be that fun flute music playing. I'd like to play that at some point. And Sirius Black says, obviously, the puppy would play Beethoven for Elise. You get two oboes together. You get two puppies playing oboe at the same time, and they play for Elise together. And then you can have both hands of for Elise. All right, I have a new goal in life. I'll get back to you, everybody, when I have achieved my goal of puppy for Elise. It's also a sentence I just said. Okay. Caranduin. Caranduin. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. Question about gems. I think I'd be best served buying gold chests, but when would you feel comfortable saving gems for something else? Oh, this is a good question. This is a good question that I would highly recommend also asking in our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions. You probably also got a bunch of really good suggestions from chat. Here's what I say. If you are still looking for a bunch of your champions to have gear, if you're still kind of in the early game and you're still gearing everybody up, get yourself some silvers. But if you're at the point that you're dropping gems on gold chests, the other thing that I would save up for is familiars. Familiars are incredibly useful, especially mid to late game, to help do all of the automation stuff that, especially if you're like me, and I know I am, you play the game as a set it and forget it, or you have multiple adventuring parties, and having familiars on all of your champions to level them up, having familiars on the field so that you can blow through a lot of the adventure and the variants really quickly is super duper duper useful. So use those gems to buy familiars. That's my opinion. And that would be something I would save up for relatively early, because especially a couple of the familiars, they're not so bad once you kind of get going. And it's one of those things in where once you get rolling into collecting gems, it kind of gets faster and faster and faster as you go. Everything you do makes it happen a little bit easier. So yeah, I'd save up for familiars. And then every once in a while, drop on some chests. Tens Kawadawa. Isn't dash on Shandy a waste of future support damage for your DPS? Her criminal contracts help me a lot. Or do you plan to swap in another character to support when it gets hard? So I think you're making a good point, except in this case, my goal isn't necessarily for a formation that is incredibly optimal or a formation that is going to push my wall. This and a lot of what we do here on Weekly Patronage is we're working specifically to finish a whole bunch of these challenges, which often means I'm only going to like area 250 or something. And so I'm using Shandy more for her speed than for anything else. And so that's why I have her set up the way I do. That's also why if you look at this formation, you're like, but, yeah. You should be here when I make some formations that make absolutely no sense. But hey, you know, I'm at the point where I've got enough favor and I've got enough gear levels that they just kind of make it happen. Especially when you get those formations that are like, or the challenges that are like, everybody be a DPS or nobody be a support champion. Woof. Woof. Actually, that does remind me, now that we've got this going, I should save this formation and make sure it's set. Make sure I got all the specializations picked. And we probably want this to go to at least 250. Because I think... I mean, we're going to have a DPS champion, so I'm not going to be worried about that. We don't have Dreidel yet, but if I do 2 to 250, that should get this done pretty fast. So yeah, and then this will also get this done pretty fast. So there we go. I've got that set up, so this will run, and hopefully we'll get those we'll get those patron challenges done pretty fast, and then we can come and adjust this in order to do some other stuff. Let's get a couple more questions done before I do another, get another group going here. JDog2773, what type of Cyber Monday offers does C&E provide? Probably this was already put into the chat, so I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't. I'll go ahead and add this to the chat because our wonderful moderators already gave me the link. So here is the Cyber Monday blog. Instead of me going through the details, I would highly recommend checking out the blog, especially since a lot of these Cyber Monday deals, or it's like Black Friday into today. Check the blog because they all started and ended on slightly different times depending on your platform. Because platforms, they gotta be specific that way. But they should all still be going on. Most of them are going to end tomorrow. It looks like some of the platforms will go until December 1st, but a lot of them are going to end it on the 30th. Starter packs are on sale. There's some familiars on sale. Familiars are always a good option. There's some skin and feet packs. There's some theme packs. The Champions of Renown Year 2 All-Star pack, and it also has information about the Cyber Monday Wild Offer Flash Storm that is going on right now. So absolutely go check out that blog for details because, because it's going to be way more useful for you to kind of skim through that and look at the details for your specific platform than for me to rattle it all off here. Thank you, chat. Oh, that just came on suddenly. I am allergic to having to read off sales. No, I'm not. Nope, it's fine. Okay, but yes, I love how both the chat in Twitch and also the mods in the backstage chat are all like, bless you, thank you, I appreciate that. But yes, definitely go check out the blog. That is my best recommendation. You should also be able to just pull up in the game, if you go to the shop, the any of the sales that are going on. Let's see. I don't know if any of the packs that I haven't bought are still on sale or are on that sale, so I can't show that. But if there's something that's on sale, it should also show up as on sale in your game. So, I hope that helps. Let's go to Jamek and Yielding. Question: anything you're hoping to see or excited to see in tonight's game? Oh, so much. So, yes, tonight is the grand finale of the Trials of Mount Tiamat. Idle Champions Presents. It's the big one. The big finale. I don't know if there's anything in specific. The player and the DM in me hopes that it is a fight that is epic and difficult, and that they win by the skin of their teeth. I feel as both a DM and a player for D&D that the best battles are the ones in where when it ends, everyone goes, oh, that was hard, but we won. And that, I think, gives the most epic feel, that sense of accomplishment of like, we succeeded through our cunning and hard work and some really good dice rolls, and it was difficult, but we pulled it out. And ideally, that's what I want out of the battle tonight with Tiamat, assuming they are going to battle Tiamat. It sounds like they're going to battle Tiamat, although Whittle and Penelope, maybe they're going to go be friends with Tiamat. Maybe they're going to go be a trio, I don't know, of rulers of the material plane with Tiamat. Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, Arcanar with Team 1 being at 5 HP each. And, well, you say Team 2 is quite perky. They're quite perky relative to Team 1. It's definitely going to be interesting. It's going to be hard for sure. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of surprises. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of tense moments. I'm a little worried about the fact that there's not a lot of healing. Yeah, there's not a lot of healing. I'm also trying to remember, Penelope has access to being able to bring people back from the dead. I don't know what she's got in her kit for that day. But yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. For those of you who are wondering, tonight is the season finale of Idle Champions Presents Volume 2. Campaign 2? Campaign 2. If you want to watch, and I highly recommend, even if you haven't seen any of the shows, yes, there's probably not enough time in order to watch all of the episodes before 4 p.m. Pacific, which is in 3 hours and 10 minutes. But we have a summary blog so that you can catch up on everything. Let me pull up that summary blog. Or actually, can I ask one of the mods to pull that up? We have a blog on our site that is literally a written summary of all of the episodes so far, with hopefully all the details you need, and you can probably read that in 10, 15 minutes, pretty quickly. It's written to be kind of the halfway point between a narrative blog and also just kind of a blow-by-blow of here's what happened. So you should be able to read that. Yes, or go watch Aaron's Havilar recap, which is also amazing. I'd say if you want the more straight answer to what happened over the last 6 episodes, read the blog. If you want to laugh your butt off and not be as concerned with the details, go watch Aaron as Havilar give the recap, because they are awesome. So yes, definitely join us tonight. That is tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific. Let's get to here. Yeah, next episode in 2 hours, 9 minutes. Last episode. It's the last episode. Yeah. What's everyone in chat hoping to see? What is everybody hoping for? I mean, I'm assuming everyone in chat is rooting for everybody to win against Tiamat, but you never know. Maybe there's some Tiamat fans in chat who want to see Tiamat win. More sad water. Xander the Annie, we'll see. That was a very Team 1 focused thing that happened, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's more sad water around. Kay Maelstrom is hoping for a 50% survival. Ooh, wow. You're looking for it to be super duper deadly. And thank you to Martin and Mars. They've got in chat. They've linked to the summary blog. Elysium Atreides says, I want to see Minsk get some crits with his sentient sword, because that would be hilarious. Oh, not only would it be hilarious, but quite epic. I mean, considering what happened the last time he got a couple crits. Whew. Kralin72, I'm hoping to sleep. It starts at 1 a.m. Okay, that's fair. That's super duper fair. That is why I would highly suggest you catch up on the YouTube VOD when it comes out, which it should go up on YouTube the next day. If not, all of our Twitch VODs are available for free right away. You don't have to be a subscriber or anything, so you can definitely watch it as soon as it's not 1 a.m. because you know what? I don't blame you for wanting to get some sleep. And yes, I do agree with J-Mick Unyielding. B-Dave Tiamat is one of the best Tiamats. I'm going to say one of. My top 3 Tiamats. Yeah, Evil Emperor Zerg, Havilar goes, those recaps are amazing. Those recaps are incredible. Stinkwhip, Havilar, and Minsk get married and live happily ever after. Ooh, that's a twist. Balkan 25, I want Tiawat to show up and confront Tiamat. I don't know, I think Tiawat, for those of you who are wondering, Tiawat was a creation from many weeks ago on the Sketching Hour, which is a show that's on Wednesdays and where 2 artists and I use some rolling tables to create brand new monsters. And we did a special for the Trials of Mount Tiamat where we created a version of Tiamat in where it was the red head, but the other 4 heads were different creatures. They weren't dragons. And yeah, you should come to our Discord and you should check out Tiawat, which is the now canon name for this creature. It's a sight. It is a sight. It is, woof. Let's see. Oh yeah, Our Green Paradox is putting the specific rules for the Vorpal Sword, about legendary actions and everything. You're right. That being said, all of these players and B-Dave are way more interested in the rule of cool, and so it would not surprise me. First off, we do not know what stat block B-Dave is using for Tiamat. This could be something out of a book. This could be something B-Dave has created. This could be a variety of things. Secondly, we don't know all of the details of the sentient Vorpal Sword that Minsk is using. And thirdly, rule of cool. So do not be surprised. And that's one of the reasons in chat that we're not constantly, y'all are good about not backseat gaming, but like that's one of the reasons when chat starts to turn into, but I thought Tiamat had a this, or I thought this character had a that. This is why we often are like, don't worry about it. Don't try to guess what's going on, because there's so much either homebrewing or rule of cooling going on that it is way more fun to just sit back and let stuff happen. Also, at the level that they're at, like I've now played Orkira at a high level for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, multiple times, and I created that subclass, and I still forget things. It'd be hard. So definitely come tonight and just be ready for anything, because anything can happen. Okay, one more question, and then we're gonna get, actually I should say, let's get another poll going, and I'll answer another couple of questions. So we've got a Zerial formation going on here, but we should get another one. I've got one more party. So would we like to see Strahd, Vajra, or Mert? Go ahead and vote now in chat, because our moderators are amazing and are already on top of stuff. Go ahead and vote for who we want to work on next, and I will answer a couple more questions. Arkanar, question. On the Tiamat interlude, Whittle is shown in her werewolf form. Is there a way to get her to transform in the game, or is it a purchasable skin? It's a skin, because in game she is this a Dampier. It was a it's her ascendant skin, and I need to remember how you got the Whittle. I'm gonna look this up real quick, because there's so many skins, and I want to make sure I say the right thing. Because a bunch of them you can get. Yeah, here's the Ascendant Whittle Theme Pack. That's the specific skin. It's a theme pack that you can purchase on in the game. And it comes with a bunch of fun stuff, including the skin that makes Whittle look like, specifically, a Lugaru. She's not just any werewolf. She is the most deadly of werewolves, a Lugaru. It also comes with a whole bunch of chests and guaranteed shinies, and it comes with Gerard, the rat. and a feat. So yeah, you can get that pack. You can purchase that pack, and that's how you get Whittle in her epic Lugaroo form. And JDog2773, can Sketching Hour add playing an oboe as an adjective? I'll think about it. I know we've had with an item. Maybe instead of playing an oboe, maybe I'll make it a little more general, just so that we don't pigeonhole any specific creature into they must play the oboe, because what if we end up with a creature that doesn't have lips? That's a terrifying thing I just said. Anyway, maybe I'll say as a bard. Anyway, our next patron is available. Oh, actually not yet. Mert is winning though. Wow. That's surprising. We're gonna bookend. There's only a few seconds left for people to go ahead and vote. So if you want to have a say in what patron we're going to go after next, go ahead and vote now, and I'll answer one more question from the lame. I'm new to the game. Welcome, Muzzle Tough, and welcome to Idle Champions. We're glad to have you. For now, my best DPS is Jarlaxle. Is he good? Yes. Jarlaxle is an excellent, especially early game DPS. And yeah, when you're just beginning, you're going to have the core champions to work with. Jarlaxle gets unlocked very early with him being in slot 3, and they are an excellent DPS. So definitely enjoy, or slot 4, sorry. Did I say 3? I just kind of forget the slot is there. Ah. But yes, Jarlaxle is a really solid DPS. I think the next, so Ashara becomes a really good DPS, but slightly later in the game. Because of the way Ashara's bonds work. But until then, Ashara is a good help for Jarlaxle. Minsk becomes a really good DPS once you're a little further and you can unlock him, but Minsk is often, it depends on who you're fighting. So yeah, Jarlaxle is a solid choice for early game DPS. Jarlaxle is even a later game solid DPS because I'm a fan of any champion that is going to not only kill things, but earn you gold. So there you go. Hey, and Mert has won. All right, well, let's go check on Mert. So, he's the moneylender Mert. Fiends, ultimates, humanoids. We can't do this group because Nayeli is in another castle. Specifically, Nayeli is helping to defeat Tiamat over here. So I cannot do that just yet. Whoops, go back over here. Speaking of Minsk, so we can definitely use Minsk. And that's basically it, because we can't do this one. The only person that we really need to focus on is Minsk. And he wants to defeat beast enemies. So, I mean, Beast Intentions is always an option for Grand Tour. So yeah, let's go to the Classic. Let's go to the Classic and get ourselves a Mert formation for Mert. A Minsk formation for Mert. That was more difficult to say than I was anticipating. Grand Tour. And this is the moment where I gotta remember where Beast Intentions is. There you are. MDI, I could Mad Wizard, but I'm gonna focus for the moment on getting these beasts done, and so we might as well just like lean into beasts, all the beasties. Okay, let us get a formation going here. Well, and obviously we've got to do a favorite enemy, beasts. Probably want Nerys. Nova might, well. Mert's not necessarily... Oh, we might want Wolfgar. Let's see. Human might be... Oh, we could put Human up front. That'd be funny. I know Krond we need for another party in order to be... Another patron variant to be the highest damage dealer. So maybe we'll stick a... Oh. Let's get Briv. Let's get Briv in here. there's not too much going on here. Oh, we could get Brig in here, yeah. Oh, and Korth would be useful. I'd normally go with Dahani, but we want Minsk to be our damage dealer of choice. Okay, so let's get Briv in here. Let's do Briv and Brig. Let's do our two most favorite B names. Let's get a Korth in here. We'll do that. Oh, let's see. Yeah, let's get a Nerys. Get some bonus to Minsk. I was just talking about how Jarlaxle is a decent DPS, so I don't want to put Jarlaxle in there if I don't have to. Who else do we got over here? Oh, maybe Strix or Ryza might be good. Oh, you know what? We could stick... Let's do a little bard party back here, just for funsies. So let's get... or actually, do I want to? Because then Ryza might take over as DPS. Let's give it a try. Let's get the two of them in here. Let's get them going. And let's see. Once again, we're not looking at the... We're not looking to figure out the most optimal formation as much as we're just trying to make a formation that's going to work really well. Increase by for each champion affected by... See, here's the thing. I put the two of them together, but I don't want Oriza accidentally becoming the main DPS. So maybe I'm actually going to change my mind. Let's get Strix. I've changed my mind. Sorry. Let's put Krull in, because Krull's fun. Let's put Krull... Yeah, Krull's next to Korth. Because we might as well put some evil people together. You know what? Barrowin. Let's stick Barrowin right in the middle. And then everybody's going to be getting bonus to their attacks. There we go. That is a formation, if I've ever made one. Might make more sense for Strix to be a little more up. Let's, a little more forward in the formation. Yeah, that'll work a little bit better. Krull is basically there for assistance. Or not Krull. Or actually, yeah, Krull. Krull and his giant spoon. Yeah, this will work. That's about the same. All right, we're going to go with that. Once again, not the most optimal, but this is definitely gonna get Minsk as our top DPS. This should get a whole bunch of Mert stuff done pretty quick. So yeah, let's save this formation. We'll do the Mojon formation dance. Save. I've got all the specializations set up. I think I gotta get Mert to 250, or Minsk. I keep saying Mert when it's Minsk. Yeah, 250. So there we go. We'll get this going, and let's drop a potion of speed on here. Let's grind out some awesome stuff. Okay. And you know what? While we're thinking about it, one of the other things that I like to do is come on over here, and if I can, although I don't have a lot of Mert money left, let's make sure, let's grab some Mojon chests. Since this is the thing that I have found the most useful, is making sure that I'm grabbing those Mojon chests as quickly as possible. Especially since the later we get in the week and the further down the road we get, the more I'm just doing other stuff, and the next thing I know, I've forgotten to buy chests. Now, there was this challenge over here. This open Azariel patron chest, and then this is open a Mert patron chest. Yeah. So we'll get those done. We'll get those done eventually. So there we go! Another suboptimal and yet very useful formation. Done and heading off. And so now we got all three parties just cranking away, having a lot of fun. And with that, we'll go back to some questions from chat. Remember, if you have a question for me or for the game or about Hanukkah or for chat, go ahead and put question in big capital letters at the beginning, and Martin and Mars, our wonderful moderators, will grab those and we will do our best to answer them. Although occasionally stuff comes up that I can't answer. But those are good questions for me to pass along to the devs or to the community team or someone else. Karenduin, question. What are the benefits of patrons, and should I focus on non-patron adventures first if I have some unlocked? So patrons offer a lot of bonuses, and whether you want to focus on them or not kind of depends on what you're trying to do, but they do offer a lot of benefits. So one of the biggest benefits, in my mind, is the stuff you can buy in their shop and the perks that they offer. The stuff you can buy in their shop includes things that are hard to get quickly or on a regular basis. Things that you can buy every single week, like time gate pieces and Mojon component chests. Also, each of the patrons come with a familiar that you can purchase with the patron currency. So earning patron currency in the game lets you purchase some really useful things. And then each of the patrons have their own perks. The local ones will help when you have that patron active, and the global ones help all the time. So this is both a way to get access to certain things that are a little hard to get outside of the patron stuff, and just in general make your parties more strong. Whether you want to focus on those or doing other things in the game can depend on a couple of questions that, or depend on a couple of answers to questions. I would suggest coming to our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions, which I'm getting better at being able to type and say at the same time. Because a lot of the time our Discord can ask those more specific questions about, all right, what goals do you have right now? And can tell you, okay, well then we suggest don't worry about the patrons, focus on this. Or yeah, go ahead and focus on this patron. Because depending on what you're trying to do, especially if you've done a whole bunch of the regular variants, then maybe, yeah, you focus on the patrons. If you're specifically trying to get to a certain point in the game, maybe you haven't unlocked the Trials of Mount Tiamat yet, if that's your goal, it may be worth it for you to continue to finish off Trials of Mount Tiamat or to finish off Descent into Avernus so you can unlock Trials. So yeah, come to the Discord and let us know. But I think once you have some patrons unlocked, it is worth at least putting a little bit of time every week into it so that you can earn the influence and the patron coin in order to start purchasing some of the stuff that are available. That was my long-winded way of saying it depends. Let's see. Krylin72, is there an approximation of what's a reasonable E to start looking at doing Mert patrons? Oh, that's a Garwar question. That's a numbers question. Garwar has a guide for that. I don't know offhand, but here's my suggestion. If you try one and you don't finish it, it's okay, because even if you don't finish it, you are still earning currency and chests and gems, and you're earning all of the stuff. And so it can feel bad when you're like, I'm gonna try out this hard variant, and then you don't complete it, but you're always earning when you play the game. And so even if you don't finish one of those variants with your patron, you've earned stuff to help along the way. So definitely check out Garwar's guides for some of the more specific number crunching stuff, because Garwar's really good at that. But otherwise, just give it a try. Give one of them a try. Let's see. And Linny. Sorry, I had to take a second to try to pronounce that correctly. I hope I got it right. As a new player, welcome. Glad to have you. Is pushing for favor in time gates, the free ones, worthwhile, i.e. past completing the requirements? It depends a little bit, but for a newer player, I mean, you will be able to convert that favor to a one of the main campaigns, but usually kind of the main reason to get into a time gate is to unlock champions and to unlock gear for champions. Now, you can go through the free time gate and see if some of the chests will drop, but I feel like if the reason that you're doing a time gate, especially the free ones, as a new player, if the reason you're doing them is to unlock champions, I wouldn't worry too much about pushing for favor. I think you're probably going to get more out of closing the time gate and going and just doing other stuff in the main campaign and finishing some variants and doing other things like that, and use the time gates for focusing on getting yourself gear and new champions. Now, there's exceptions to that, obviously, and there are certain things that you can do that will help, like if you're looking to farm some favor. Once again, I think Garwar has some guides for that, but I think as a new player, I wouldn't worry too much about farming the favor in the time gates. I would get your stuff and go back to the main campaign. Arkanar, regarding the Mojon cores, is there a quick and or easy way to level them up to 3 just to unlock the automation for cores 2 and 3? Just use them. Just use them. The more you use it and the further you get, the faster they level. That's really it. And yeah, I 100% understand about wanting to get to that automation level. As you've all seen and I've talked about before, I'm the kind of player who likes to set stuff up and then go do other things and then come back every once in a while. And having Mojon automation is super useful. I'd put together a speed formation. And there's a bunch of different suggestions and recommendations out there for speed formations depending on what campaign you're playing and what champions you have available. But yeah, I put together a speed formation with a bunch of speedy people who are going to speed through and just get through a whole bunch of adventures when you've got the actual core on and going. But yeah, that's kind of your basic goal. So you can think about it this way. You can think about, I'm just going to get through a bunch of stuff and unlock this core as quickly as possible. I do prefer to try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And so I would probably also look for a campaign that I'm looking to farm some favor on as well. So maybe I'd go to Witchlight because that's the one that I have the fewest favor on, or there's still a couple of last blessings. Me personally, I'm looking to unlock in Descent into Avernus. So I'd probably go there just so that I can get some favor and stuff. But yeah, put yourself a speed formation and be speedy. Get yourself a Briv who gonna do the jumping. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm having fun. Adeline, exactly what does Warnings Enabled do for blessings? Does it prevent you from spending more than 1% or something like that? This is a good question. So yeah, if you come over, whoops, that's patrons. Come over here to blessings, and let's go back to the Descent into Avernus campaign, where I am still getting some stuff done in here. And yeah, basically, Warnings Enabled is a good way to make sure that you do not spend more favor in a specific campaign than the game thinks is useful, because at a certain point you start to affect how much favor you're actually getting. So like at a certain point you're using up more than the game wants you to use, because then you're going to lose out on that extra push during actual adventures. So if you're coming along and you're like, yay, I'm going to level this up, and let's increase the damage of all champions, and then hey. Be careful to balance how you spend favor on blessings. Blessings provide powerful bonuses. Unspent favor greatly increases your gold find. Spending too much favor can greatly reduce your rate of progress. I would trust this warning. If you reach this point, my suggestion is nope out. And then, you can kind of come back here and, maybe spend a little bit more favor on some of these lower ones. But once you start seeing that, go ahead and nope out and be like, okay, I'm going to earn some more favor before I spend some more. Just because you'll reach that point in where what you'll gain from the blessing won't make up from what you'll lose from the favor bonus from having that much favor. So I hope that helped. Carolyn 1. After you have all the champions, what's the use of time gates? Good question. Very useful as someone who has all of the champions. So one of the best things is you're going to get gear for those champions specifically, which you can get in other ways. But if you're looking for, I want, you know what? I'll just do this. I can't actually start up a time gate because I don't have any patron stuff available, or I don't have any, I don't have any formations available. But so yeah, say I want to level up Briv. I want to get him some better gear. I want to, Narak, I got a couple blues on here, and I really need to get some purples on him. Doing a time gate for Narak will give me access to a couple different gold and the possibility of some silver chests for him to level him up. There are other ways to get chests for your champions or gear for your champions without having to spend money a lot. And that's another good thing that the patrons can do, because they'll have patron chests that you can buy, and those patron chests will have gear for any of the champions that you can use in that patron, for that patron. But if you're like, I want to just focus on Narak, that's what a time gate is for. Is I'm going to focus on this one champion, and so I'm going to guarantee myself at least a couple of gold chests to be able to increase the gear that he has, or she, or they, and that way they're more powerful for when I want to go through stuff. So that's what it's good for. Let's come back over here. And I like that we've got all these new people who have joined the game. Welcome. Welcome, and definitely come by our Discord and hang out here in chat, and we're glad to have you. So Wayne Z77 wants to know, how long have the Flash offers been live? Not long at all. So I believe that is a thing that is just going on today with the Cyber Monday Wild Offer Flash Storm. Welcome to Cyber Monday. We actually posted the blog in the chat that was specifically all of the different sales and events that are going on from Friday, from Black Friday till kind of right now. Let me pull that back up. Do I still have it here? I do still have it here. There we go. We'll put this back in the chat. This is specifically the Black Friday, Cyber Monday information. Black Friday, Cyber Monday info. Most of this is going to detail the sales that are going on from Black Friday that should still be going on right now. They're going to end soon, depending on your platform. So definitely check that blog for specifically what platform you are on to see when that sale ends, because some of them are going to end tomorrow and some of them will end on the 1st, because every platform has got to be specific. Anyway, if you go to the bottom, you'll see information about the Cyber Monday Wild Offer Flash Storm! Exclamation point! Was it me, or did the entire screen flash when I said that? Oh, I got Mojon. That's why. Mojon makes flashing happen. Okay, so wild offers, for those of you who are new, are literally, I got one right here. They show up right up here. You can click on them. You can see what the wild offer is. You can purchase it. They should be for a bunch of different stuff. Let me actually just go back to the blog, make it easy. The Cyber Monday Wild Offer Flash Storm starts at noon Pacific, so like an hour and a half ago, and goes through December 1st at noon Pacific, so like 2 days from now. Wild offers will be available every 3 hours, and basically you need to do something in-game to trigger it, or you have to wait until you have a current one. So if you've got if you've got a wild offer going on right now, you have to wait for it to end, and then the new ones will start to get triggered. And by do something in game, basically that means if I get rid of that, or if it ends, in order to get a new offer, I have to change the party, load the game, restart an adventure, do something to basically refresh the screen, like go back to another party. And if I switch parties, it will come back. And there's been new stuff that's been added to the wild offers. We've added feats, and some wild offers may include a combination of feats, skins, and champions. So if you're looking for anything in specific, definitely check it out. You're only going to get one wild offer at a time, and the in-game timer will count down from 3 hours. So you know how long that you have. So yeah, that is a little bit of a rundown on wild offers, just a fun thing to add to the game. We've been taking a look at all of the feedback from people about wild offers and ways to make them better and fun things to do with them. And so hopefully you find some fun stuff in there to help your game. I'm seeing someone say, I'm stuck with a Binwin wild offer for 6 more hours. That probably started before the wild offer event happened. So once that ends, the next bunch of wild offers you should get will be these 3-hour short ones. So yeah, that's what I was mentioning when I said that the new ones won't start until after the current offer expires. You had a current offer going on when the Wild Storm went live. So yep. But you should get some of the new ones soon, in 6 hours specifically. I hope that answered everybody's questions. Definitely come by the blog if there's something that I said that you wanted to go back and reread. Come to our Discord if you have any other questions. But yeah. And definitely, you're going to probably see a lot of people who are asking the question, hey, do you think I should buy this? A lot of the time for the stuff for purchase for real money, it's going to depends on your finances, obviously. It's also going to depend on your characters in your game and what you're trying to do and whether that specific wild offer is exciting to you. So, yeah, if you're curious, if you want some feedback from the community, come by the Discord or talk about it in chat. People are always happy to give suggestions and opinions, but yeah, they usually come with really fun stuff. So I hope you all find some fun stuff over this Cyber Monday. Jamek Unyielding asks, where is the Havilar recap? Champions of Lore? Yes. So there's 2 different Champions of Lore. If they aren't up on the YouTube, they will be shortly, but you can definitely find them in the Twitch blogs, where during Champions of Lore, the amazing Aaron M. Evans was asked by B. Dave Walters and Trevor Bettis to recap basically what happened over the previous episodes of Idle Champions Presents The Trials of Mount Tiamat as her character Havilar. I think my favorite moment so far in her recap was when she was hearing about the other party. Havilar was telling the story of what happened in the previous episode to Party 2 and mentioned how she was worried about whether they were going to survive the thing she was about to talk about, and then said, oh, but they were telling me the story, so everything must have been okay. Which I love and is so amazing. So definitely go check out Havilar's recaps. If you do want a more a blow by blow, I'm not going to say accurate, because I think Havilar's recap is incredibly accurate. It just has a lot more flavor to it and is super funny. But if you are looking to just kind of read through all of the basics to be able to watch the show tonight, we do have the blog up that you can read through the summary recaps. And I definitely recommend watching tonight. Even if you don't read the recaps, even if you're coming in brand new and haven't seen anything, definitely come watch tonight. all you really got to know is everybody's on the ropes and they're about to fight Tiamat, the mother of all evil dragons, and it's going to be epic. And there's going to be surprises. And there's giveaways. Hang out during the break. There'll be giveaways. You can enter for a giveaway. Let's see. Naughty Bear, who else is in your top 3 Tiamats, Lauren? Oh. Okay, so you have to remember that Tiamat has been a D&D antagonist in 5e for basically all of 5e, because the first couple of adventures that came out dealt with the cult bringing back Tiamat. So I've had the fortunate opportunity of playing multiple games that included Tiamat. And so neither of the Tiamats that I would rank up with B-Dave equally as awesome Tiamats, they weren't streamed games. They were home games that they played. And maybe some of it is not nostalgia, but like, oh, this is my first chance to be a player fighting Tiamat. But those are really fun memories for me, and some really epic moments. And so, yeah. But B-Dave is amazing, and you should absolutely watch tonight. I think what you're going to get out of Tiamat tonight might be more of the actual fighting, but definitely go back and watch the last 6 episodes if you can, because the menace, but the enticement that B-Dave brings to her is very interesting. She is objectively evil. She's objectively someone who wants to rule the world, who has no problem with killing people. Like, she's one of those really interesting bad guys who are not necessarily a redeemable character. You can feel good about fighting Tiamat and defeating Tiamat and being like, done. But I like how B-Dave leans into the fact that she's smart enough and cunning enough to not just want to slaughter everyone, and that having powerful allies who are devoted to her, or are at least willing to just walk away, is really, really useful and important. And that, Jaimick Unyielding, she's evil, but she's fun evil. And she is manipulative in a very obvious way, to her credit. Like, she does it on purpose. Like, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm here to try to convince you to just walk away. I'm willing to give you exactly what you want. I'm willing to give you maybe something you didn't think you wanted or needed, but now you know. Or I'm willing to just say, I will not kill you if you walk away. And while we haven't seen any of the current champions give in to that, they've had a couple champions who have mulled those offers over. And because Tiamat is not usually a character that betrays the people who are still loyal to her, you can kind of take her offer at face value. Like, there's some bad guys, there's some monsters and creatures that when they make an offer to you, you kind of suspect or are worried or know that they're just doing that and then they're going to stab you in the back, or they're trying to trick you. And what makes Tiamat so appealing is she's not. She is smart enough to offer things that make you interested in the offer, not just because it's a good offer, but you know that she's being relatively honest about it. She's not gonna stab you in the back. If she offers you, hey, I'll let you rule over here as long as you are ruling under me and you pledge your loyalty to me, and I'll give you this world. As long as you continue to be loyal to her, she will let you be the ruler of that world. And there's something very interesting about having a character that you can trust offer you something you really want in order to do something kind of evil. Also, hi, The Real Bunny Beast. Welcome back, and thank you for subscribing. How active in the chat do we need to be eligible for the giveaway? That's Wizard of D. So in the chat, in most of our chats, what happens is the moderators will come along and say, hey, to enter the giveaway, do this. So you'll actually see instructions on how to enter a giveaway. We do that for a couple of reasons. Sometimes we're offering multiple giveaways, like during most of Trials of Mount Tiamat, the Idle Champions Present show, we've offered 2 different giveaways at the same time. Also, it does mean we want you to actually enter the giveaway. And there's some giveaways that have some limitations to them. Like we've given away some WizKids miniatures. And I say miniatures in that they've been like giant dragons. And there's some limitations to who we can do those giveaways for. For example, the giveaways that are physical product are often just for the United States and Canada, excluding Quebec. And that's just because of regional laws. That's not something that we can control. So we want it to be a giveaway that you enter so that people aren't accidentally entering for a giveaway that they can't win, which sucks. But then also we offer a second giveaway of some digital goods that everybody can actually enter for. So there's going to be specific information in chat, usually during the break. So while everybody's taking a break, about halfway through, you'll see information from the mods on how to enter the giveaway. If you arrive a minute or 2 after the giveaways have begun, you'll enter and you'll see the chat just filled with all those keywords. And hang out for a second and you'll see the information. We try to make it as clear as possible. And yes, our Green Paradox, as B-Dave likes to say, Quebec, you know what you did. Also, welcome to the people who have come by from the game. We're in our last 25 minutes of weekly patronage. Mazel tov and welcome. It is good to see all of you. Happy Hanukkah. And yes, I will be using this cup all week. All right, let's see if we can get through some more questions before the end. I look at this and I feel bad. I'm so bad at pronouncing people's names. I apologize. But here we go. Tenska Wada Wada. Wouldn't Whittle be a great help to speed up your perk chasing quest? What are the best characters to speed your party? Yes, absolutely. Whittle is an excellent champion. All the speed champions would be excellent champions to help out. And you can tell who's a speed champion because they literally say, speed. We've added the speed tag. So speed champions do something in the game to help speed up the game in general. Sometimes they actually just increase the speed of the game. Sometimes, like Briv here, he just every once in a while decides, we don't have to do Area 133 and just jumps ahead. So Whittle does the thing in where she'll have monsters spawn faster, which means you can kill them faster, which means you can get through an area faster. So a lot of the speed champions do that in different ways. Definitely, if you have access to a bunch of them, then definitely use them. I am not using Whittle in this specific formation because I can't, because she is not eligible for Mert. And even if she was eligible for Zariel, I actually have her over here helping explode a volcano. So, but yes, you are right. Whittle is often a big help. And if I had her available, I would definitely have her in the formation because she's awesome. Karen Duin, we can get a Nerds champion. Nerds. Yes, the Nerds champion. There they are. They're super adorable. So Nerds were available as a champion. I don't remember if they're still available. I've forgotten if the promotional period is still going on. I think it is. Thank you, Nightbot. Or not Nightbot. Thank you, J-Dog, for grabbing the alert. So yes, the basic way that you can get the Nerds right now is if you purchase some Nerds in your area. It doesn't have to be specifically D&D Nerds, because there were some, but you purchase Nerds and you upload your proof of purchase to that website, the nerdscandypromotion.com. So you upload your proof of purchase, and then you'll get an email that includes a whole bunch of free stuff. Wallpapers, and there's a bunch of D&D adventures that feature the nerds. And one of the things is a code that unlocks the nerds into your game. And if you either don't have nerds in your area or do not want to purchase nerds, if you wait until after the promotional period is over, the Nerds Champions will be available in the gem shop. So if you do want to just be a little patient and wait, you can get them in the patron shop after the promo is over. The Real Scary Norm asks, what's the game that uses a dreidel and do you play? I haven't played in a very long time, but it's just called the Dreidel Game. You just play with the dreidel. Kind of like playing tops. Like, what's the game that you play with a top? Is you play tops. And basically Dreidel is it's a gambling game, essentially. You spin the dreidel, you ante up, and what you're betting, you're basically betting money, and then there's 4 sides to the dreidel, and wherever it lands is a different word in Hebrew. And depending on what word it is, will tell the people who are playing what to do. Sometimes you're taking money out of the pot. Sometimes you're putting it back in. Sometimes everybody's putting something in. There's a bunch of different things that happen. And yeah, it's a fun gambling game. And it's got some historical roots as a way to help slyly teach young Jews how to speak Hebrew, because as is historically proven, the Jewish people are one of those groups of people that have been discriminated against for a very long time. And speaking in Hebrew in many times in history was forbidden. And so playing dreidel was a sneaky way in order to learn a little bit of Hebrew on the sly. I actually haven't played dreidel in a very long time. But I do, on a regular basis, have gelt, which is chocolate coins. Which is also the way you're kind of supposed to play dreidel is you don't actually play it with money, you play it with the chocolate coins, so that way you're not losing money on a big gambling game. But yes, get yourself some chocolate coins. Gelt is lovely. Arabear 2001 patron currencies carry over to the next week, right? Yes. So for example, I've actually been saving up patron coin, for let's look at Vajra. I've been working on some Vajra stuff for a while. If I don't spend that patron currency, I'll have it for the next week. You don't lose that. Same with influence. The only thing that resets every week are the weekly challenges. So if you don't complete a patron challenge before the end of the week, and it'll tell you how long you have before the reset, then you don't get a chance to earn that bonus stuff. But you get to keep the rest of it. Oh yeah, the Real Scary Norm kind of tastes like the gold coins in the bags at the dollar store. Yeah, you can get some really bad gelt. You can definitely find some really low quality gelt. But there's some good stuff. There's some good stuff out there too. So it just kind of depends. It's like any kind of chocolate or candy. It depends on where you pick it up. And you can get really expensive gelt too. I've had some really high quality gelt. I'd recommend getting like middle of the road gelt. Find yourself a grocery store batch of gelt, something in where it's going to be at least Hershey quality. All right. Merrick, question. I just started playing the game last week. Hey, welcome. Glad to have you. Should I try to complete an entire campaign first or spread myself around amongst the first 3 campaigns? Excellent question. There's going to be a lot of people who will have some suggestions and opinions for you. I know Garwar actually has an excellent guide in where if you're looking to get through a bunch of the game quickly in order to unlock a bunch of stuff, he has some suggestions about where to go and what to do. My suggestion is at least get some of the first campaign done before you move on to Tomb of Annihilation. because in a way, a lot of Tomb of Annihilation is slightly easier. So Grand Tour of the Sword Coast is kind of our evergreen campaign. It continues and continues. We're constantly adding stuff to it. And so while it starts off as the easy stuff, there's a bunch of variants in there that get very hard. And as it continues, it gets much and much harder. Whereas most of the other campaigns have a start and an end, so you can kind of get your bearings on, okay, this is going to be good for these levels. So I do a bunch of the Sword Coast, and then take a trip on over to Chult and go do a bunch of the Tomb of Annihilation adventure and unlock a bunch of that. And then you'd probably end up skipping around a little bit. Some of it for just the fun of trying out the new campaign and seeing those new areas and those new monsters. Some of it because when you switch to a new campaign, the beginning adventures of the new campaign might actually be easier than where you are in your current campaign. If you're, hanging out in the, if you're hanging out in Chult and you've gotten pretty far, skipping to Waterdeep Dragon Heist, those first couple adventures might be a little easier, and so you can kind of bounce back and forth. So, I would do a bunch of the Sword Coast until you're feeling like you're having to do some grinding, and then give Chult a try. Do what you find interesting. Do what you find fun. Do what you find, and don't be afraid to try stuff out, especially some of the variants, and not complete them. Because, like I said earlier, you're going to earn no matter what you do. You're going to earn favor, you're going to earn gems, you're going to earn chests, you're going to earn stuff as you play. So even if you try out a really hard variant and you can't complete it yet because you still just don't have enough gear or don't have enough stuff, you'll still have earned while you're playing, and it will not have been a waste. So don't be afraid to just try things out. And then also come by the Discord if you're looking for any more specific suggestions, and check out that Garwar's guide, because he's got, if you're in that space where you're like, well, how do I get to the point where I can unlock a bunch of stuff? Garwar has a really nice do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, to kind of get you through a lot of that early game to a point in where you've unlocked a bunch more options. And hey, we've got Garwar here in chat. So, but yeah, my biggest suggestion is do what you find fun. Give things a try. Don't be afraid to reset when you hit your wall and try again. Keith G, what are Mojon component chests? Good question. So, when you get to the point that you have unlocked multiple adventuring parties, you will also get to the point that you've unlocked these Mojon cores. And what they allow you to do, we'll go ahead and view this one core. You play a little pipe game, and the pipe game does a bunch of things. Mostly it allows you to unlock these nodes that give you buffs to your party that's in this adventure. So for example, this one is increasing the damage of all champions with a dex score of 13 or greater. The Mojon chests give you the pipes. And that's how you play the pipe game. And that's how you unlock all these nodes and level everything up so that you can be more powerful, so that you can do more. So that's what it is. That's kind of the simple answer. There's a lot more complexity that goes into Mojon stuff, but that's the basics. Let's see. Xaner Thieni. Question: is the most spoke line on any C&E video game is Garwar has a guide for that? Maybe. That is... If I had a nickel for every time I said Garwar has a guide for that, I would have a lot of nickels. I would be a rich woman. It'd be great. Also, Garwar would have a guide for Garwar's Guide to Guides. Arabear 2001, you said Hanukkah was fair game. I did. Do menorahs stay out year-round or only come out for the holidays? A video game called Unpacking has you unpack one and left me curious. That's a good question. I think most people pack up their menorah. They don't leave it out all year. because specifically a menorah is for Hanukkah. It's got a very specific purpose. Now, that being said, depending on the type of menorah you have, it might also be a decorative piece. So, for example, if you look right there, there's mine. That's my menorah. I actually have it out all year. If you've watched any of my previous videos from all of the previous months that I've been here, especially once I got the newer setup behind me, my menorah goes right there. Because that was a gift from my parents, and it's pretty, and so I leave it out as a display piece. My parents actually had a similar menorah. They had a really beautifully carved, it was a stone menorah that each of the candle holders was a little person doing like this to where you actually put the candle in, and it was just a beautiful art piece as well as a functional menorah. So I think a lot of people do leave them out as a display piece all year, but I think just as many, if not more, also pack them up. And certainly until I had this nice display behind me, I didn't always have my menorah out. I would often pack it up at the end of Hanukkah and put it away because I didn't have a place to display it, or there were many years I didn't have a really pretty menorah. I just kind of had a basic like metal menorah that wasn't necessarily really nice to look at, and so that I'd pack up. But yeah, it's also if you're way more devout. Like I am a very basic Jew. I don't hardcore celebrate. My Hebrew is pretty bad. And so for me, like, I'm not an incredibly religious person, and so I don't always have the menorah out, but there are people who are way more devout than I am, and so having the menorah present, even when it's not Hanukkah, is way more important. So, I hope that answered your question. Let's see. I'm trying to read through. I'm going to get to a couple more before we have to go. Jamek Unyielding, pretending you don't know what's coming in the future. Are there any characters or patrons you'd hope to see in the game someday? Or alternatively, speaking as vaguely as possible, what are you most excited for among future plans and content? Oh, that's hard. Okay, I'm not going to go with the what do I hope comes in the future, because I feel like that would be really hard for me to answer without everybody reading into it. Either, oh, that means it can't be coming, or oh, that means it is. So I'll do the second part. Speaking as vaguely as possible, what are you most excited for among future plans and content? Honestly, it's the champions that are coming. The champions that are coming make me super excited. And part of that is because collecting and the champions in this game and having a nice mixture of champions to basically play with in these games has always been the thing that makes me the most happy in Idle Champions. I am the person who likes to collect them all. I am the person who likes putting together formations that are just fun and funny and interesting. I am the person who, when Dahani was added to the game in slot 1, I was both super happy to see Dahani and super upset that Orkira could never be in a formation with her at the same time. Ha! So yeah, the champions that are coming out continue to make me really, really excited for the game. And that is my favorite thing about the game by far. So I think that's probably the best way I can answer that as specifically as possible. Let's see. Cruciferius Kale, is this Trials of Mount Tiamat campaign entirely B-Dave's creation, not published stuff? It is not. B-Dave worked with a bunch of people to create the specific adventure that they're playing through in the D&D game. And it's not published yet. JDog2773, are you part of the Redacted show? Well, if I told you that, it wouldn't be redacted, would it? Ninehammer, have we missed any spoilers for Wednesday? I don't think so. I think the only spoiler I haven't given a spoiler for Wednesday, but tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, I will be doing a very short stream that will include spoilers. It won't at that point be spoilers. It'll be announcements that include announcements. JDog2773, anything special happening on Sketching Hour, Paint and Slayer, Community Q&A? Every week is a special week. for all 3 of those shows. I'm not gonna say like extra special. However, Paint and Slay has been off for a couple of weeks because of holidays and travel and extra life. We just finished the last time we had a Paint and Slay. We just finished the Xanathar Clown Beholder. And so I would say this week is a good week to join us for Paint and Slay, especially if you're new, because we're going to be starting the dragon. If you are interested in joining us for the dragon, definitely come to our Discord. We have a Paint and Slay channel where we have pinned in the channel all of the basic supplies you need to join us in painting the dragon. I use those supplies. We try to keep it really simple. We try to keep it fairly inexpensive so that if you want to join us on this painting journey, you're not looking to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Just get a couple paints, a couple brushes, here's some paper plates and paper cups and the mini, and you can join us. And I use that specific stuff. And then V Muse, our amazing paint master. There we go. I've just given her a new title. She basically walks us through painting the dragon. And I know we're going to be doing that for at least 2 episodes, possibly more, because it's a dragon. Let's see. Kiwi Mischief, is Birdsong useful for anything? If so, suggestions. Oh, my heart. Birdsong is super useful. Birdsong is especially useful as a DPS when I can't access Birdsong at the moment because Birdsong is not available for this thing. But Birdsong is an amazing DPS, especially for formations that include a whole bunch of Heroes of the Plains. But yes, Birdsong is a really solid DPS, especially since they also are super fast. So I think Birdsong is incredibly useful. So definitely go get Birdsong. Okay. We have just a minute left. Let me make sure. I think that's about all I can do. I answered that. Okay, so let me say a few things, and then I'm going to let you all go and get a stretch and get some snacks and have a moment, because then in 2 hours, 2 hours and a few minutes, 2 hours, it is the grand finale of Idle Champions Presents The Trials of Mount Tiamat. It is the moment in where everybody is going to be getting together to fight Tiamat. 1 hour and 5 minutes. 2, 3, that is 2 hours. 4 p.m. Pacific on this very Twitch channel, twitch.tv/C&E Games. Come back at 4. Yeah, Garwark, you're right. That's not right. Whoopsie. I'll talk to somebody about that as soon as I'm done here, but definitely come back in 2 hours, 4 o'clock Pacific. It's 4 to 7. And yeah, we're going to be seeing if everybody can defeat Tiamat. We're going to see how all of your votes play out in the game. And then come back tomorrow, because tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific, there's going to be a special little stream of me where I'm going to be talking about a bunch of things for the next couple of days that you might want to hear about. Also, if you can't come by tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, which I totally understand because people are busy, definitely keep an eye on our socials, on all of the social media that we have going on, because a lot of the information I will be talking about tomorrow will be available on our social media, on our blog, on our Discord, and so you can keep up with everything if you can't come by for that show. And the Discord is also an excellent place to come when you want to check out what the schedule is. And definitely come by for that redacted show on Wednesday. I think everybody is going to really enjoy that redacted show. So with that, I'm going to let you all go. Have a wonderful day 2 of your Hanukkah. If you liked this show, then definitely tell Martin and Mars, our moderators and producers and wonderful people, how awesome they are. And because they're super wonderful, and thank you to our moderators. They're amazing. And if you have any other questions, come by our social media. Otherwise, I will see you next encounter.